Hello, my favorite girly pops. In today's video for the low introductory price sale of absolutely nothing, you heard it here last. We're talking about two things. Foodie Beauty's husband cheated on her yet again. Allow the surprise and shock to set in. Let's take a moment for the surprise to set in. Well, the moment is over. It never happened. But we're also talking about
Amber Lynn did not shower.
how Amberlynn Reed did this video about, like, let's talk about her audience's assumptions about her. And I'm just going to say this right off the bat. The most interesting thing about this video isn't the way that she's massively deceiving people about what's happening to her on YouTube. No, that's what's expected. But the most interesting thing is how when she starts talking about her partner Tommy, she starts crying, being upset or whatever, and immediately needs to like cut out like 20 minutes of the video. And even if she doesn't start actually crying, you could see she's getting upset and she cuts out. Listen, this is important. That's why I'm saying it right now. She removes 20 minutes, supposedly, according to her, minutes of the video. Now, I ask you this question, all right? This is a simple question for the audience. If you were massively in love with your new partner and you decided to swoop right in and move in and, kind of like without telling them, you just like came and never left to their house, right? And this is like the love of your life. This is like the best relationship of your life. Do you think you would get highly upset when talking about Tommy and then cut out like 20 minutes of the video? Look, I'm reminded of a sonnet by Amberlynn non Shakespeare, Hans Christian Andersen. I'm going to tell you something. This is a legal term, but it really, really, really applies. Are you ready? Res ipsa loquitur. What that translates to is speaks for itself. My personal opinion, not a fact, but I'm 100 on this as far as my opinion. This is what I believe and think. Amberlynn, the rest of your audience, as well as myself, can see that you are miserable in this relationship. And no amount of posting once a week and no amount of deceiving your audience that things are happening to you on YouTube, which are not, is going to stop people. Like, from seeing the truth. She's trying to make people believe that she's this like, victim on YouTube. Are you cashing the checks? Then you're good. Okay? Then you're good. So, she did a lot of assumptions. We're going to talk about them. Pay attention to when she gets to start to talking about Tommy. She says, I am not unhappy with Tommy. It's YouTube that's making me unhappy. Really? Really? You are getting like half of the amount of the views that you used to get when you used to get way more criticism. And all of a sudden, by magic, I love it when magic gets involved. Magic hasn't gotten involved in a long time, but it's always welcome. My point here is this: she's unhappy with Tommy. That's what I believe. This is how she's acting, and everyone can see it. You remember this video when she breaks up with her. All right, just my opinion. We're going to get into it. Everything I'm saying is just my opinions, not facts, just for entertainment purposes only. Okay, I'm sharing opinions, not facts. Please do not go out of your way to go to these people's channels that I'm speaking about and leave them mean-spirited, negative, discouraging, disparaging comments. I am just commenting on public figures' behavior that they made public first. Okay, now, have you ever watched my videos and you were like, you know what, I would like to purchase something that like I see in this woman's videos, because this woman is pretty weird, meaning me. So I want a Kermit, or I want a nail polish, or I want to get something that I see in her video. Well, now you can. This is my affiliate link. Okay, my affiliate link. If you go there and you purchase something, then you can purchase it. Also, please let me know when it ships so I can be excited for you. Let's start talking about Amberlynn's drama. Okay, this is my opinion, and I can see that the community agrees. I have never seen Amberlynn so upset when she first starts a relationship, and I do wish her all the best, as I do with every single person I talk about. So this is why it's worth mentioning. She was so much more happier when she was dating somebody in her head, Valentine, while living in Oklahoma and hanging out with her family. The last time that I personally myself have seen Amberlynn Reed happy was when she was living in Oklahoma with her family. And the community agrees with this. Come on now, okay? I said this in my other video. Okay. So let me see if I can get this straight. She moves in with Tommy, and as soon as she moves in with Tommy, she becomes depressed. This is what I believe, my thoughts, my opinions. I think she's isolated. She doesn't go anywhere all day except outside to let the dogs out. And Tommy is working all day. At night, they may go out or they may not. But Amberlynn is not used to that. She's used to being taken out by her girlfriends midday, and then she's used to having control over the girlfriends. She has no control over Tommy. Tommy has a bunch of things going on in her life. And she also is used to being with her family, hanging out with family, doing whatever she wants, flirting. Another thing that's super, super, super important is this. Amberlynn, in my opinion, it's blatant. The community knows this, was always in the DMs with the other girls, even while she was dating Valentine. Okay. So that gives you the opportunity to flirt and think that you're the queen of the world and do thirst traps on TikTok. She can't do that anymore because supposedly she's a monogamous relationship. If you believe that, I have a very, very, very large Bridget Karmitz to sell you. My point here is this. In this video, in her assumptions video, she says that she's really unhappy with YouTube and YouTube is making her unhappy, and that's why she seems unhappy. Amber, human being to human being. No one is buying that. No one believes that, honey. Let's take a look. When she was with Crystal, she was happy. When she first got with Crystal for years, she was happy. When she first started dating Destiny, she was happy. When she first started dating Beck and Wifey, and even Valentine in her head, she was dating her in her head. I love me some Amberlynn Reed. She was happy. When you first enter your relationships for the first year, you appear happy. You just move in with her and you appear unhappy, and you actually believe that a seasoned audience of intelligent people that have been watching you for years actually are gonna believe, sweetheart, that you are unhappy because all of a sudden YouTube, you get less criticism than you used to, because you used to get hundreds of thousands of views. You're now getting 30, 40,000 views. Make it make sense. You're getting less attention, less criticism, and now you're unhappier with YouTube. Make it make sense. You're isolated and you're unhappy with Tommy. It's not what you thought it was going to be. And when the two of yous break up, remember this video. Like I said, her point in this video is she loves making videos. Please, okay? And she loves planning it. That's why you leave the camera falling in your videos. You lied and said you work on the description box, and you just like don't do anything in your videos. There's so much effort into it. Please, but I digress from that. But she's like, oh, there's such a big bad part of YouTube and terrible part of YouTube. Honey, you're upset because of this fake relationship you've gotten yourself in. When I say that it's fake, I think that you believe that she was going to save you, and because she was into you, this was it. It's not it. You cannot just move into somebody's other like house. You can't just move into someone's house and think that everything's gonna be okay. So we all can see that you are unhappy with Tommy. YouTube has nothing to do with this, and you're not posting because you're depressed and isolated and can't get control of her. Moving on. So she basically titles this video addressing everything, and she gets 30,000 views right away. Just so we are all clear here, she didn't address a single thing. She just keeps regurgitating the things that she has been asked for years. The only thing, I have to give it up to Ambi, at least she didn't talk about being left or right-handed or her favorite color like that, or I love the color orange, or I'm left-handed. This is usually her Q&A, like things that people really want to know. Girl, bye, okay? If Maury Povich had not retired, let's ask him. My point here is this. She doesn't address anything, and she clickbaited and lied in the title as always. Also, people thought that you were going to address Oh Lordy, It's Jordy's video. He made a very good live stream. I'm going to link it down below, where he discusses like a supposed conversation with somebody that claims to know Tommy. Amber used that. She knew that people would go to her video if she pretended she addressed it, but she doesn't address anything. Wow. Typical Amberlynn behavior. So don't worry, she doesn't address anything. Here's something fun she talks about in the video. She talks about how many pillows she has since she's a princess and says that she would never. She says that she's definitely somebody who has a lot of pillows, even though she's a princess, and she would never. And she also says that she's, very loving, very giving, amazing person. Listen, Anne Boleyn, I can dispel that in a second. First of all, if no one cares about this, everybody knows the tea, but since you brought it up, like, do you really think there's people on Instagram that are like saying, oh my God, Anne Boleyn, I want to know how many pillows you have. Do you like to redecorate? Like, do you like to go to Home Goods and buy yourself pillows? Please, honey, since you brought it up. I'm reminded of a sonnet by Hans Christian Ambelin. Remember when you were with Beck? I understand they didn't engage. Why didn't you? There's your proof that she's, maybe a princess, but without pillows. Please, Ambelin, okay? Like, that's what you want to address? Okay. She says that you could never change haters' minds, and she says that she has provided plenty of proof to change haters' mind. I'm going to give you an example right now. Let me see if I can find this. I hope I'm showing you a screenshot right now of what Amberlyn Reed considers proof to the haters. When she pretended that an FBI and when she pretended that she had an FBI agent come to her house and I can't tell the story like that because it's too funny. Okay, I'm going to try to compose myself. This is a vocabulary channel. So she said that there was an FBI agent that came to her ex's sister's house, and it was because of all the mean comments Amberlyn was getting. And then the FBI agent, FBI Frank, complimented Amberlyn on her following. Okay, and no one believed her because it's a blatant lie. And also, she said the FBI didn't know where she lived. Yeah, because they couldn't have asked the IRS. Of course not. It's a wonderful time to be alive, girls. So she provided proof that this happened. For example, this is her proof. Her texting Eric and Ricky. That's not proof that it happened, girl. So she claims that she always provides proof to the haters that she's not lying, but she has multiple videos stating that she lied and deceived people, and that is not proof, sweetheart. You texting yourself or my evil Kermit doesn't make it proof, okay? An interesting statement that she makes about reaction channels. She has to bring up Zachary Michael. She's obsessed with Zachary Michael, okay? So she brings up Zachary Michael and like she talks about how dare like reaction channels share DMs when so many famous people she alludes to. She says like so many people message Amberlyn that are like famous and well known, and she's never like talked about it. She's never shared it. Sweetheart, you doxed your ex-girlfriend Valentine. You told everybody her real name. And on top of that, you have shared DMs plenty of times. You've blasted it on your live streams. Do you think that people don't remember that you share DMs all the time? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing DMs. I've said this before. If you're going to write to a public figure who especially has like a drama channel or anything like that, come on, what do you expect? Oh, by the way, she says she's not a drama channel. This is a woman that like her whole channel has succeeded on being a drama channel, and she has caused so much drama on Instagram trashing her ex Beck. Like the videos are coming, don't worry. Like she is just massively trashing people on Instagram and creating drama videos on YouTube, but she's not a drama channel. That is the reason I love me some Amberlyn Reed, because she's very entertaining. That's a very entertaining position to take. The other two really interesting things about her video is that she always, without a single doubt, will always tell on herself. First example. So recently, Anne Boleyn had removed her mother, or her mother had removed her from Facebook. And they're not friends anymore on Facebook. And everybody understood that they had like a fight. There was an issue. Anne Boleyn had said that she removed her mom from Facebook so like some hater or some person wouldn't see her mom's Facebook, which makes literally no sense. Her mother has her real name on her Facebook and has so for the entire duration that Anne Boleyn has had her channel. That's just a bad excuse from Amber. Okay. In this video, she says, she answers the assumption of, are you and your mom, are you guys like in a fight? Are you guys in an argument? And Amber says something incredibly interesting, and this is how she gives herself away. She says, you don't see us fighting. Where are you getting this from? You don't see us fighting. Okay. This is called the Ian Kermit slip. My point here is this, okay? She's slipping. What do I mean by that? She knows that people do not see her and her mother fighting because no one is there in private with them while they're fighting. So it's the same energy as when she says, you have zero proof that I did this, so I didn't do this. What I'm trying to get at is she exposes herself by saying, well, you didn't see us fighting. You don't see us fighting. Where are you getting this from? That's an interesting choice of words. What I'm trying to get at is she's exposing herself by saying, you never saw this, so it never happened. Anne Boleyn, only a guilty person who has had a serious rift with the person that they're trying to hide the rift with would say, well, you don't have any proof. You don't see us fighting. Just pay attention to how she exposes herself. Second example of her telling on herself. She always tells on herself. You just have to give her enough time to tell on herself. So there's a moment, there's a situation type deal where she talks about how people always say to her, if it wasn't for YouTube, like, how would you pay your bills? You'd never be able to pay your bills. How would you ever be able to pay your bills? And she says something incredibly interesting. Now, pay attention to this. Pay attention to her wording. She says that people always ask her, how do you make money? How are you paying your bills? Like, how are you making money? How are you making money? And her answer to this is, my bills are paid. I'm very responsible. And, the bills always get paid, usually in advance. Right, right. That's why when you moved into your new apartment, you didn't even pay your electricity bill, but I digress, okay? I personally don't care how she pays her bills, but it is beyond blatantly obvious that it's more than YouTube than paying her bills. I believe she's making certain videos similar to the cookie video that was discussed here before. That is what I believe, and it's just my opinion. I want you to be very clear on this. It's not a fact. It's just what I think and I feel and I believe, but I think she makes other videos for other people. The question that the audience always is asking is, Amberlynn, what are you going to do if YouTube is over? And how are you even paying your bills now, pretty much without posting videos? When you don't post videos, you're not earning new money. And her answer is, I want you all to know that my bills are paid. That's not an answer as to how you're making money. You're just saying you're paying your bills. What is my point? She won't tell you how she's making money off of YouTube. She just wants you to know that her bills are paid. If the question is, how are you making money? And the answer is, my bills are paid, the real answer isn't being given to you, or she refuses to tell you. She refuses to tell you in this moment how she pays her bills. Look, I work here just like her. I'm telling you, even if she's getting from her old content, when you don't make new videos, you don't get paid. This isn't like a job where there's like paid time off or you can take a day and they'll pay you. This is self-employment. So you don't work, you don't make money. My point here is that she is beyond telling on herself. Just like she told on herself with the fight that she had with her mom. In this case, it's real crystal clear. She wants you to know that her bills are paid, but she won't tell you where the money is coming from. If that isn't the most suspicious thing, then I don't know what is. Look, her bottom line in this video is that there's such a bad side of YouTube, and she's so upset about what's happening to her on YouTube, when I would say she is, at this point, as somebody who has watched her, I watched her for years before making videos about her, and from what I have seen through the years of the Amberverse, from when she became popular in like 2017 till now, she is getting the least amount of criticism and the least amount of videos made about her at this point. Therefore, the idea, listen, this is a mathematical channel, the mathematical probability that she is so upset with YouTube when she's getting the least amount of videos or content made about her, and she's getting the lowest amount of talking being situation type deal happening about her, and she's getting the least amount of criticism, and for her to be the most upset about it means that she is deceiving in this situation. You're upset because you and Tommy's love affair is not what you presented it to be. Your relationship is not what you're presenting it to be, like every single relationship. She lied to you and said everything was okay with Beck and Wifey and Valentine and Crystal and Destiny and Casey, and everything was not okay. This is the basic litmus test that I want y'all to do if you enter into a new relationship. If you enter into a new relationship and you are miserable and become depressed, and it's obvious that it's the new addition to your life that's doing that, why would you stay there? It's obvious what's going on, Amberlynn. You are unhappy in this relationship. And with some of the things that I've heard from Jordy's videos, I highly advise you. This is just my personal opinion. It was obvious before Jordy made the live stream as well. But sweetheart, this is the wrong relationship for you. You need to have a different partner, but I personally think you need to go back to Oklahoma, in my opinion, and be with your family. You're miserable in this relationship, and everybody could see it. See, you can't hide it. There's a moment where she says, people view me as the villain. Very rarely do people view someone as the villain for a very long amount of time. without realizing that they are wrong. If people haven't realized that they're wrong, it's because, listen, what are you doing in your career publicly that makes people feel this way? I'm going to give you a basic example. She said that she was cheated on by her ex Valentine. I'm always going to bring this up forever, okay? Until she addresses it. And come to find out, she was the other woman in the relationship, and she was the other woman where Valentine was cheating on her wife with Amber. Please explain to me how you were cheated on. This is just one example. If you want to have a good relationship with your audience, it starts not with you posting fake receipts that you're not lying, but it starts with you. When you treat people better, you get better treatment. I promise you that. I speak from personal experience. When you change how you present your content and you change how you treat people, you get eventually people seeing you in a different way and truly believing that you have changed. The reason why people don't believe you've changed is because you haven't. I wish you all the best, Anne Boleyn, but this video is yet another very glaring example of how unhappy you are in the relationship. Her theory that YouTube is making her unhappy, think about it. Least amount of criticism in all the years she's been here, and she's unhappy. Yeah, make it make sense. Let's move on to Foodie Beauty. I want to move on to Foodie Beauty. The only thing that has occurred in the last month that I remotely want to talk to you about. I mean, it's really sad what happened, but I'm still going to talk about it. I don't mean sad in a bad way. I mean sad that she's perpetuating that she's in this loving relationship. Basically, Foodie Beauty made a live stream as well as a recorded video in which it's like titled Asking for a Friend, where she claims that her friends got cheated on and her friend wants to ask Foodie Beauties. Girl, you a lie. Girl, you a lie. It's your own husband that cheated on you. We all know it. Okay, so I can't even. I'm trying to keep a straight face throughout this because I'm gonna have to record this and tell you about it just in case you don't know and give you my opinions. Please let me know yours in the comments and dislikes down below. I cannot believe we're even talking about this. I can't believe I'm actually saying this out loud. So anyways, Foodie Beauty makes 2 videos in which she says my friend's boyfriend or whatever is cheating on her, and my friend wants me to come to my audience and ask for advice. Like, what do you think? She did a live stream on this, and then she did an update like, oh, the dust settled, everything's fine with them. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to say is that she gave an unusual amount of very clear details about how her friends, in quotation mark friends, boyfriend was cheating on her friend, that it's obvious that it was Salah. So let's just say it for what it is. The majority of the community believes this, and I would say even go so far as to say they know this. It's obviously my opinion and their opinion, but it's common sense that's going on here. People believe that Salah cheated on Foodie Beauty again, and she came to her audience and asked her audience opinion about the situation and pretended that it was, her friend that got cheated on because she's too embarrassed and humiliated to say that he's cheating on her again. It's Salah that's cheating on Chantal again, and she's just embarrassed to tell her audience. Now, there was another floating theory, which is common sense also, that she could have just made up the whole thing for views because is November, and I totally understand that is totally possible. I'm totally willing to be on board with that. She could have made it up, but whenever I think about anything in the real world, never mind YouTube, I always look at this in most situations: what is possible versus what is the most probable. Is it possible that she did it just for views and made up the whole thing? Yes. What is the most probable answer? The most probable answer is that she made up this ridiculous story because she's being cheated on again by her husband, her fake husband, her boyfriend, and she is too humiliated to come on screen and say, hey, he's doing this to me again. What should I do? And cry about it. So she is pretending that it's her friend. You know how when people, I can't even believe I'm going to have to say this cliche thing. When people make the statement, oh yeah, how many Kermits do you have, asking for a friend? The joke here would be that I have a lot of Kermits, right? So I would not really be asking for a friend. I would be asking for me. And in that situation, for example, I would be too scared to say, yeah, I have a lot of Kermits, like 8 Kermits or something. So, just my friend has it, as a joke. Well, in this case, she's too embarrassed to say that he cheated on her again, and she's pretending that it's her friend. There is no way, there is no chance in the whole wide world that it was her friend. And I'll tell you why. First of all, we all know that she doesn't have any friends, and there's nothing wrong with not having any friends. I always say that It's cool to be a loner. Some people move around, some people just like to be alone. But in her case, she's lying about having friends, much like Anne Boleyn. So the thing is, we know she doesn't even have a friend to even be cheated on. She doesn't even have a friend. But even if she did, listen, you have to watch this live stream to know what I'm talking about. But if you watched it, what happens is her husband, her fake boyfriend, whatever, Salah, comes into the chat and you could see how miserable she gets. She's like, yeah, hi, babe. It's obvious, it's palpable that she's doing two things. She's lying that it's for the friend because in the second update video, she goes, yeah, the dust settled. You could see her looking off to the side. Please, please, we all know it's for you. He's cheating on you again. And it's also obvious that she's miserable with him, angry at him, feels like she can't leave because she's invested too much, and he's still cheating on her. Besides him cheating on her before, while she was having a serious situation with her vision, while she was having problems with her diabetes, and he was like talking to another girl and cheating, besides the fact that he's done this before, and besides the obviousness, it's palpable, you can feel it, how she's clearly lying in the video, okay? And she's talking about herself. I just wanted to say that I would think it would be common sense for the average viewer to understand that even if Foodie Beauty did have this friend whose boyfriend cheated on her, there is no way in the world that any friend of hers could be that delusional to believe that Foodie Beauty's audience, who dislikes Foodie Beauty and watches her in order to gossip about everything, and they're not like her fans, right? They're not there for her. They're there to talk about her, which is a difference. What kind of a friend would want to have their personal private business put out there for Foodie Beauty's audience to gossip about and judge? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Even if she really genuinely did have a friend who truly got cheated on, this friend would have had to be pretty, what, like not understanding, or as Anne Boleyn would say, no understandment of Foodie Beauty's audience. Like, no one in the real world, even if they were friends with Chantal, would want Chantal's audience to give an opinion on their personal life and give up their like privacy like that and tell a private situation to Foodie Beauty's fake bought 100,000 subscribers, rinse lather delulu. Look, it's obvious that he cheated on you, Chantal, yet again, and you just needed to say asking for a friend. This boils down to one thing. I've said it before, and I want you right now to say it with me. He's just not that into you, Chantal. Yes, it is my opinion, but it's so palpable. That's my favorite word. Are you kidding me? He's just not that into you, which is why you had to give him money before you guys got fake married, which is why recently they celebrated their anniversary and they don't even know when their anniversary is. I honestly could say that I feel sorry for you, but I don't, because you've done it to yourself. Should have stayed in Canada, should have stayed friends with Pete's, and eventually you would have met the right person. You wanted to immediately stick it to your ex-non, whoever that you were seeing. Oh, I got married right away. Salah's just not that into you. It's palpable. It's easy to see. And in my personal opinion and the community's opinion, he obviously cheated on her again. And she was just embarrassing enough. Are you not embarrassed to come on the internet and be like, oh yeah, asking for a friend? Chantal, no friend of yours would want the judgment of your audience. Deep down inside, even you can't stand the judgment of your audience on your failing relationship, which is why you had to pretend that it was a friend. Rinse, lather, delulu. Well, I wish everybody mentioned all the best. I want to thank everybody here for consuming, watching, hearing, listening, and participating in this video. Thank you so very much for being here today. Let me know your thoughts in the dislikes comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please check out a similar video that's popping up right here. You may enjoy it. You may not enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, go and leave it a dislike. Be our friend. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye.